There we go. He's only about 50 meters from where we left him in the morning. And it is Tingana. Still looking quite hungry, so he hasn't had any success during the day. And there are some waterbuck not too far away, but lots of open ground between. But it's a good spot to lie and wait, because you never know what might wander along the dam wall. We often have impala and all sorts coming through here. So, as I said, he was quite hungry this morning, so it might be worth playing the patience game this afternoon with him. Now, it's amazing how much his territory has shrunk in just over a year. So he had massive amounts of territory. Okay, let me just get my bearings correct here. Well, a very big welcome to Macy. It's a brand new viewer. He is a boy. He's a big boy. He's not in the best condition. He's quite an old boy as well. And he used to have a large territory. But unfortunately, as he's got older, younger males have moved in and sort of put a lot of pressure on him. So, I don't know if we can... How's that work for you, Vim? Is that okay? Okay, so that little blue dot is where we are now. But so Tingana's previous territory basically used to encompass, go out like this. His whole territory, it goes further than that. His territory used to encompass from, how am I going to do this? Let's think now. From down here where my finger is, all the way around like that, up into that fence line, across to the north, all the way down south here, all the way down to the Kruger boundary, and then down and around again back. Now, his territory has shrunk from that massive area to basically where we are now, this sort of small square just like that. And he's got Hukamuri pushing in from this side, and he's got Quarantine pushing in from this side and this side. So he's lost the majority of his territory in the last little while, and he seems to have been surviving on baby waterbucks around the Chitwa Dam. We've all been sort of joking it's a good retirement home for old leopards. There's a constant supply of decent food. Oh, but he's a tired kitty now. So while he naps, let's send you across to Steve, who might have caught up with the elephant Taylor was with.
Yes, we do. Oh, and there he goes. Did you see him, ladies and gentlemen? He was busy shouting at us. It was a little dwarf mongoose. He was doing a bit of a head bobble, but from the smallest carnivore, we have to the Nhukuma puddle. Or as Beck said in my ear, a Christmas bed. And for those of you out there who have never heard of a Christmas bed, it's when you have families around and all the kids, and you throw all the mattresses together in the lounge with all sorts of blankets and pillows and put on a DVD or two, and then all the kids sort of slumber together in one big Christmas bed. It's something we refer to in South Africa whenever a whole lot of you jump together on one bed. I still do it as well, Bex. Bex says she still does it. I still do it. It's quite fun. And then we need popcorn and chocolate. Mongooses have come back, but I'm not sure if they're going to stay. They're just here. How cute are they? So at least 3 of them a moment ago. Another adventurous one to the left, having a little bit of a groom. Beautiful little place for them to hide. Last time, actually, with Craig, he was out with me. We were just maybe 150 meters or so, just a bit further east from where we are right now. And we had the Nhukhumas lying up on a termite mound. And then right at the end of show, just as we ended, family of dwarf mongooses erupted out of the termite mound, and the lions, including the adult lionesses, ran and jumped, and it was the funniest thing I think I've ever seen. And then they'd jump and land on the hole the mongoose disappeared in, and then like tentatively lift up their paw to look underneath to see what exactly they might have caught, but they didn't catch anything. Now we've got 4 of the adult lioness and a youngster lying right next to our car. I dare even start the engine. They are so close. You can see a bit of the door in the bottom right-hand frame of the picture there. They are yawning. Soon, I'm sure, after their drink, they will be getting ready to move in a certain direction. And we check which direction the wind is coming from. Wind is coming kind of from the west, which is to go directly south or north from here. So let's hope they choose to go south. If they go south, we'll be able to, attempt to follow them. If they go north, we will lose them in about 100 meters as they cross into Buffelshoek. Here we go. Here comes the one lioness is now moving. There's the cat stretch. Ooh. And the yawn. And let's hope they go in that direction, because that is where we would like them to go. She might have a little drink now. Such beautiful animals. Okay, always happens after a bit of movement. They have a toilet stop. Jane, male lions start growing their manes from about 7 months, 8 months. Very, very small though. To about a year they start, and then they're fully developed at about between 3.5 and 4. Try and find the young male here, and where I think he's the one up on top of the rock there. Yeah, he's the one on top there. That's him. You can see he's just got a little bit of fur around the neck. It's not very, very prominent. There's a little bit more on the back of his head. So between about a year and maybe 12 months to 14 months, they'll start developing that sort of fur. Obviously, there's a bit of genetics involved. I'm just going to keep quiet for a moment. They're making little contact call noises. They have still got a piece of plastic pipe. Nhukhumas are very naughty when it comes to playing with things, but obviously we shouldn't have plastic pipe lying around. It's obviously evidence of old sort of plumbing or pumps to access the water in and around here. Seems to me like the lions were really enjoying the sunset. Kaylin, the lions in South Africa, most of them don't swim very, very well or enjoy swimming. Craig, do you want to have a look at the hippo here? He's behaving in a very strange manner. There we go. There's the defecation. All the lions are transfixed on these big, big juicy-looking mammals. And lions do stay away from water here. It doesn't mean they can't swim. It's they don't choose to swim. Let's see what reaction happens here. I don't know what's going on. He's moving very quickly towards the bank. The lions are very interested. They just can't help but react to something that moves.
Well, this is not what we're used to seeing when you expect to see a male lion. And you can see he is literally skin and bones, one of the majinglane. He doesn't have much time left, I'm afraid. He's desperate for a meal. Looks like he's also got some TB. There's some growths coming off him. But at his age, it's impressive. I mean, I'm not 100% sure. Maybe someone can tell me how old the majinglanes are. But he's losing condition very quickly at the moment. So as I said, if you are sensitive, this might not be the best lion sighting for you. But that is what happens out in the bush. This is what happens to male lions. If they don't get killed outright in the fight, they just slowly but surely keep losing condition. Shame. Poor old man. Yeah. It is quite difficult to see sometimes, but you got to remember, you've got to take the beauty with the ghastly out here, and hopefully, well, even in this state, you never know, the hyenas might even catch up with him. But it's very, very seldom that an animal will die from old age. They will normally get killed by something else when they lose condition like this. There we go. Angela, thank you very much. Angela says thinks he's 14. That is incredibly old. There are very few lions that will make it to 14 years old. Okay, and that's him gone. He's headed off and out of our traversing area. Okay, well, it's difficult to see, but it's something you need to see as well.
Sorry about my head. We are now on infrared. Here we are with the lions. Two more still coming up from the back. That one is playing with a stick in the water. Not quite sure what it is. So they are crossing exactly where I hoped they might. I hope we're going to be able to cross over there. And the general trajectory, we're going to pay attention to that, because if they do go south, that'll be marvelous. They'll go straight back into the heart of Djuma. But if they do keep going east, then we could lose them to Torchwood, Cheetah Cutline. Oh, he got a fright. The branch moved. Wasn't expecting that. There we go. Now that one, that's an adult wants to have a look at whatever that stick is. Tanith, the hippos will most likely stay in the water until the lions leave. I've seen that as well with us. If we spend time at the water, they will often stay in the water until we've left, only coming out once all activity is gone. They're very shy, and they don't like their appearance. Because it's moving, they think it's alive. And here, Pearl spotted owlet in the background. Okay, so as soon as this last lion moves off, we'll follow them around. You can see how they're just skirting around the dam there. And they're heading in a perfectly southward direction, which is exactly what we want. Glad the IR is on, because I'm losing sight of them with my naked eye. There you go. Off we go. Yes, we are with lions, and this little youngster here is very interested in the moving wheel. I had to give it a little word a moment ago, because the IR, it's got some lights on so we can see them, as the IR is on as well. But they are moving directly across the wind, as I sort of anticipated. You see the wind is coming from this direction to our right, my right-hand side here. And so they'll walk across the wind to try and pick up on the smell of any animal in this direction, and then they'll move in that direction to try and hunt. That is the general gist of it. It can take all night, ladies and gentlemen. It can happen really quickly, or it can take all night and be no success. But that is the general sort of way of things that I've seen in my experience with lions. And it's so nice to be following them on the road. But they are heading in a general east direction on Hippo Pools Road, which is right up in the northeastern corner towards Cheetah Cut Line. It is quite some time until we get to the cut line, but hopefully they will turn in before then.
Well, I'm having a little scroll through Twitter, which I don't normally do, and there's some great ones. There we go. Have a look at this one from Kim. That's beautiful. A green macaw from South America. That's beautiful. Goodness. And who drew that? Did Sydney? Sydney drew that. She was only 7 years old. Very cool. Okay, well, there's one. I did see can I show you my favorite one? Is this one by Mia. Sensor says this bird is very far away. It is indeed. It's kind of what you just see when you look at birds flying towards the sunset. Who else have we got here? Oh, he's going to have that. Hey, look at this one. This is amazing. Well, Katie, wow. You've outdone yourself. That's incredible, of a lilac-breasted roller. I think that those are the kinds of birds I see in my dream. Very nice. So well done to all of you. It was, well, great to have you all join us and participate in Draw a Bird Day. But I think what I am going to be doing now is sending you off to watch something that's not live, but we've taken the time to put it together for you, well, for Draw a Bird Day.
We've been celebrating Draw a Bird Day for 2 years now, and while it's a fun task, this small action has a very big effect. Once upon a time, in 1943 to be exact, Dory Cooper, a little girl of just 7 years, went to visit her uncle in hospital. He had lost his leg fighting in the Second World War. Dory's uncle was in a lot of pain. The little girl wanted to cheer him up, and so she asked, "Uncle Rufus, would you draw a bird for me, please?" Although he was still very weak, Uncle Rufus agreed to this request from his young niece. "All right, Dory, I'll see what I can do," he replied, opening his eyes. He looked out of his window, and what did he see? A beautiful robin. And so, Dory's uncle got to drawing the robin. Dory took one look at the picture, and oh, how she laughed. "Uncle Rufus, this isn't very good, but I love it all the same. It makes me happy." Dory took this terribly drawn picture and hung it in her room at home. This lifted her uncle's spirits. He saw the goodness in her honesty. Soon after that, the other wounded soldiers in the hospital started a bird drawing contest. Presently, the entire ward was covered in bird drawings of all kinds. Bad, colourful, artistic, funny and precise. It was a sight to behold. Tragically, just 3 years later, Dory was killed in a car accident. At her funeral, the coffin was filled with bird images created by the wounded soldiers, nurses and doctors from the ward where Dory's uncle had recovered. Every year after that, Those men and women remembered the little girl who brought joy to injured soldiers by drawing birds on her birthday, April the 8th. So this 8th of April, commit your favourite feathered friend to paper and remember that sometimes the smallest and simplest things have the greatest effect.